Greet and salutations, race fans, motorsport lovers, and others, and welcome to a very, very special broadcast on a Friday night. I'm so excited. This thing has come together across the world. We have Germany joining us for a race in Kyalami, at Kyalami. Motorsport, the world has changed as we know it. We are joined by Kelvin van der Linde. And just as a special tribute to Kelvin van der Linde and Sheldon, the van der Linde brothers. Kelvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your pre-race preparations for the Red Line race at Kyalami tonight.
Yeah, no worries, guys. I mean, I have a lot of time on my hands these days, so yeah, my schedule's pretty open. So yeah, for sure we fit you guys in.
So racing, as we know it, with engines that suck, squeeze, bang and blow, is on pause. But racing in the real world at the moment is alive and well. And you and the virtual world is real at the moment. So you guys are racing tonight in the Red Line race. It's a 1-hour race at Kyalami. Starts at 10 o'clock tonight. Give us a little bit more background, how it all started and how you got involved, and what car are you driving?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious what car I'm driving. I'm driving the Audi R8 since it's the official game by the Intercontinental GT. They released a game beginning of this year. So we're basically connected to this game, and it's got all the official drivers, official teams and tracks and so on. But yeah, just to get back to how I started sim racing, I always had a PlayStation since I can remember. I was playing with my brother many nights back at home and school holidays and so on. Some days my dad would come home from work in the evenings and me and my brother would still be in our pajamas. And yeah, basically, that's how it started for us. And now obviously we moved to Germany and it's perfect for times like this. Obviously, our simulator nowadays is a bit more advanced than it was back then. We have some great sponsors, people helping us, obviously, on that side. But yeah, it's cool. At least now that we at home, we have something to do rather than just sitting watching Netflix.
Now, before we get on to the virtual tour of your car, because while we were getting ready for the show, we saw some sneak pics of that car of yours. It is your rig. It is absolutely amazing. Quick update. You're in Kempten at the moment in Germany. You're on your own, and from tomorrow you guys go into a bit of a lockdown.
Yeah, so basically it was announced today that we're not really allowed to leave our homes from tomorrow onwards. So we're only allowed to go to the supermarket, to the doctor if necessary, and you can go running by yourself or training by yourself, but you're not allowed to train in groups. Everything else is basically closed, all the restaurants, gyms, you name it. So it's a bit frustrating because I'm kind of, I like being outside a lot, and it really is for the first time in my life. I think for the first time for many people, it's like your personal freedom is kind of taken away from you, which is, it's a bit of a weird feeling, I have to say.
For sure, the world has changed, and many of us never thought that it would come to this, but it is what it is, and we've got to make do with what we've got. So you are now sitting in the car that you drove virtually at Suzuka with its beautiful color scheme. Talk us through that magnificent rig, because you've got a proper seat, proper wheels, proper pedals. Run us through your driving rig.
I'm still sitting in the seat, so let me maybe just get out the seat. That might help. So, it's basically my bedroom as well, because in Germany, we don't have a lot of space. So I had to improvise.
I see, at least you made your bed. Good man.
Yeah, my dad would kill me if I didn't. Anyway, so that's my rig. It's, basically one of the top rigs money can buy really at the moment in the kind of basic technology standard where we are now with the simulators. It just obviously doesn't have movement, so it's a static sim.
Kelvin,
some
those
simulators
screens,
obviously
Those screens are curved?
Yeah. They have
Wow,
a
it's
slight
proper.
curve, yes, but they're like on a mounting here at the back. So they've been the screens itself are slightly curved, but it's mainly like mounted to a frame which curves them. So it's three different screens.
Wow.
Then obviously I have my racing seat. It's actually my dad's old touring car seat. I'll show you. You still have the BMW logo on here, which is maybe not so good for me. It's got my
Yeah, but
dad's
it's
name
got
in it still.
Dawn van der Linde. Unbelievable, hey?
So got that here to Europe, and then basically, I hope the lighting's okay from this side. So you
That's
have my
perfect.
steering wheel, which is pretty cool. It's from Precision Sim Engineering. It's like they specialize in high-tech sim equipment. It's the same wheel which Lando Norris and Max Verstappen are using. They also run with these guys. They're also sponsored by some Precision Sim. Then I have my own dashboard, which I can configure basically myself. I can put all the bells and whistles I want in there. And
And your
then probably the most
dashboard,
important,
no, hold on, let's go
yeah.
back to the dashboard. Have you got that configured the same as in your real world race car?
Not 100% because I drive a lot of different cars on the game. I don't just drive the R8, so I've got something quite generic, but it looks similar. I mean, here's my dashboard, and just behind us is the R8 dashboard on the game. So it looks similar. It's not that far different. Um, but yeah, I just wanted something generic. Then what we have here at the back is like, it's called a direct drive motor. It's literally
Gee.
basically gear driven now. In the past, the steering wheels were made from belt driven wheels, which were not as accurate. This is by Simuku. Not that much to really say about that. Then
Pick the
here's probably the
pedals.
coolest part are the pedals. So I have my Tilton pedals, which is basically, I think they even run them in Polo Cup right now, these pedals. This pedal box. And they're
You've got
hydraulic
half.
pedals. You can see the hydraulic points.
You got half a freaking racing car there.
Yeah, it is. If I tell you that what the simulator is worth, you might do a backflip. But luckily, I didn't have to pay for it. So,
Kelvin, let's go back to those pedals. They hydraulic pedals, and the sensors from the hydraulics they go into the game. Is that right?
yeah, so it's basically got like little sensors on the movement of the pedals, so how far the pedal travels, and that goes with a USB cable into the back of my PC. So, yeah,
Unfreaking
that's
believable. So you got
the
that
feeling
direct
is very
drive
cool.
now. The feel on the steering wheel, how close is that to in the real race car?
It's very realistic. I mean, you can change a lot of the settings to make it feel like how you want it. So basically, I can adjust all the different parameters. I can make it heavier, lighter, whatever. So it depends on what car I drive. Obviously, the Audi has power steering, so I tend to set it quite light. But if I drive, like for example, a Formula 3 car or something, I have to crank it up because a Formula 3 car doesn't have power steering. Or even like the Formula E, the steering wheel was very heavy, so I was practicing on my sim with a very high setting, a very heavy setting on the steering wheel. So yeah, you're
And
very flexible with these things.
it's, my mind is blown because I see a cockpit of a real racing car sitting in your freaking bedroom. You're a spoiled brat. But I just want to go back to the pedals and the feel that you've got on the pedals. You've set them up so that a lot of games have a lot of travel of the pedal, where in real life it's actually more low travel and more force orientated. So, is that the
Yeah.
kind of thing that you've gone for?
Well, if I jump in here, I can show you. Basically, I've got my racing boots on because I cannot even play barefoot. Otherwise, I just hurt myself. It gets really like after an hour of driving, it's crazy. I even have sandpaper on
Yeah.
the pedals so my shoe doesn't slip off. But like if I push it, there's
Yes.
not much movement. Like it's rock solid, you know. And this is what you want, like on a simulator, because that's we rely so much on feeling because we don't have the feeling of the G-force and stuff. So you really
Yeah.
rely a lot
Yeah.
on all the other elements even more.
You know,
So
the biggest battle that I've had, and I'm an old fart and didn't grow up with a lot of computer games, and the biggest battle I've had in trying to drive these things is not feeling the stuff on my body. I started playing, I don't know, the first time I played a freaking computer game must have been over 30. So it's that translation. You grew up playing computer games, so you've got that. You kids are in,
Instinct.
excuse me, yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, no,
And you don't.
definitely. Like all these kids that grow up with the simulators nowadays. I mean, I see a lot of my teammates who are maybe one generation above us. They struggle a bit on the simulator, to be honest. You know, and I mean, they're really good world class racing drivers, but they just struggle with it. I think when you grow up with stuff like this, you have the feeling for it. And I mean, for sure, it also helps now in the real life, because also in real life, the simulator world is also becoming quite important, like for Formula E, Formula One, and so on. So if you're fast in a simulator, it can help quite a lot.
Going back to your rig, there are two things that also catch me. Never mind the mechanical parts of it, which I think it is beautiful. It is just, my mouth is watering about that. What kind of computer power do you need, and what kind of connection to internet do you need?
To be honest, it depends a little bit on what game you're going to play, but yeah, I don't have the highest spec PC in the world, and mine runs quite fine. I would say any PC within the last 2-3 year cycle of technology, let's say, would work. I mean, I'm also not a computer expert. I normally just give it to the IT guys and they sort it out for me. But you can get a good PC for around €1,000 to 1,500. I paid for mine, I think, about €1,000, 1,200. And that was like 4 years ago, and it still works fine. So.
And this morning that was worth 20,000 Rand, and probably by now it's about 30,000 Rand. And what kind of connection to the internet do you need?
Well, I mean, that's probably the most important thing to have, is because a lot of office run off online stuff. So you definitely need a very strong line. I don't know. I mean, my brother was playing from home last night, and Janara as well, and they seem to have a good connection in South Africa. So I think South Africa has the capability. I don't think you can have a weak line. You need to have quite a high-end package. I don't know what the offering is there in South Africa at the moment, but you need to have probably one of the higher plans in terms of internet connectivity. What I
A
can
technical
recommend, though,
thing.
is like not to run it on Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi, the guys generally have problems with it. You should have a LAN cable connected to your PC just to keep it a bit more stable. But that's very high in tech talk.
Always mainline when you can. Talking about high tech, do you know what sort of ping time that you need on your connection?
I mean, some of the South African connections like running at 200, and in Europe we run here at like 20 or 30. Just with that's how strong our internet line is. I mean, this is very technical. I think a lot of people won't really understand, but obviously it depends where the servers are hosted. If people are hosting a server in the US, then the further you are away from the host server, the more problems you have.
Yeah.
So in Europe, we have European servers, so generally we're quite good on those ones. So South Africa's got a bit of a problem because there's no host servers in South Africa, but Sheldon and Gennaro seem to be okay with it at the moment.
Right, we've had a walk around your car. We've done the technical bits and pieces. Let's get to the race. You're racing Kyalami. We saw the car when you were in it earlier. The view out of the window, it's real. That's the Kyalami pit wall. There's Kyalami marshals there. You're a little bit further up the pit lane now than you were at the 9 hour. And talk us through, the race starts at 22 o'clock South African time. What is the program? You got practice qualifying stuff?
Yeah, standard like 30 minutes practice, 30 minutes qualifying, and then a 1 hour race. Mainly it's about fun and bringing people together. So I'm going to drive it, but I don't have sound, unfortunately, for you guys because I use headsets normally, but maybe you'll be able to see a little bit
Out on the
about
track now.
what the track. Yes, exactly.
Are you allowed to go? Is this like free practice?
Yeah, I'm just driving in free practice.
That is so cool.
There's no one on the track
are the other
cars?
Okay. Yet.
I'm just offline at the moment.
Is Lando
But yeah, so you
Norris
can see.
who? That is, I'm blown away. I mean, I'm watching you in
Lots of
Germany
fans.
driving around a track where that is like 4 kilometers from my house. Um,
Yeah, it's cool.
I want to get in
It's
my
cool.
car and pack my Brian cooler box and go and watch you, Oaks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, I have to say. It's we're lucky.
Now,
We're lucky in that.
when you start the race, do you still have do you have communications from race control back to you?
Yeah, it's quite man, these guys take it really seriously, especially the sim races. So we have a live marshalling system. So this is also we have a live race director that we all go on like an it's called an application called Discord, and all the
Yeah.
drivers are on there and you can talk to each other and stuff like that, like kind of like a radio system. And then the race steward can talk to you, and it's man, they really take it seriously in that sense. I downloaded like a little package today. It's called Crew Chief. So I have like a race engineer talking to me all the time, and if you make a mistake or something, he starts like swearing at you and stuff. It's you got so
Is
many
he a
cool
real
little applications and stuff.
is he a real life guy or is he just like a
No, no, no.
virtual
It's
guy?
just it's all programmed. So he's telling you how many laps you have left in your stint, and you know the generic stuff. And he'll tell you like the gaps to the car in front, gap to the car behind, and they've programmed it so well, and you know it's so realistic. Like for example, if you would do a crash in the race, the guy swears at you, and he's like, "What have you done now?" And, you know, like, it's cool. It's really funny. I have to say they take out all the stops with this. That's why I'm so into it. You know, I mean, we've been at home now for like over a week, and I've played every day, probably 5, 6, 7 hours. You know, I go to bed at 3 in the morning out of the simulator. Um,
You're
so it's
living
been
the
fun.
life, eh?
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
Okay,
Best of
so
it.
now tell me something. If you get a little bit robust, and for instance, I don't know, the guy in front of you is not fast enough, and you give him a bit of a biff, um,
Yeah, I do that
do you
all
get
the time.
penalties? Oh, that's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If the guy's too slow, you just get out of the way. So,
To be honest,
does
if you
race
spin
control
him
come back?
around, it's like the same rules like in real life. I mean, if you spin him around, then you get a penalty. If you're just touching a bit, then obviously it's just cool for the racing and cool for the broadcast
Yeah.
that they have. You know. I don't know if you watched the broadcast the other night on Raceport. I mean, it's really professionally done. They have commentators and stuff, so it's
It
cool.
was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I watched. So this weekend was my first real experience of virtual racing as a spectator. I watched the NASCAR
Yes.
race, and it was freaking amazing. And then there was the race with the Formula, I don't know, the single seater race where Max
Formula
Verstappen was
TV.
on. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And then I watched the one where Lando gave him a punt and stuck him in the wall at
Yes,
Daytona.
that was the one of the Porsche GTEs. That's the one I was
Yes,
also in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a
So
reasonable, it was a reasonable bump draft. I would have done that, even a bit harder. And,
yeah,
well, I suppose
yeah,
that's the way it goes, eh?
yeah, exactly. No, but it's cool to have these guys on. As I mean, they're obviously the billboard figures for the whole, let's say, business for the esports business. They bring a lot of hype around it, and so it's cool to actually know them personally because we have online teams, and they those who happen to be in our online team. We have all the real drivers like Bruno Spengler. We've got a WhatsApp group at the moment with Montoya, Barrichello, Verstappen, Norris, all these guys in a WhatsApp group, and every night we just text each other and we're like, hey, who's playing tonight? And it's every top driver in the world basically is in this WhatsApp group. We've got Scott McLaughlin from V8 Supercars.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
it's
and
if you need
also,
anybody's
hold on,
contact details, you just go into this group.
Scott McLaughlin, V8 Supercars and IndyCar. He's opened a few people's eyes when he got into that IndyCar, didn't he?
Yeah, it's cool, and it's nice that he did that because it shows that the GT or touring car guys can do just as good a
Yeah.
job as the other guys in a Formula car. So that's always good
Well,
news for us.
I know a certain Audi driver who, from GT3, jumped into the Formula E and did bloody well. I mean, there's skills there.
Yeah, I mean it's you
Right.
know what I mean. It's got a steering wheel and four wheels, so we just drive the wheels off it. You know. That's how it goes.
Got to love that. Kelvin, where can we watch this race tonight?
I think the best is for everyone to just go and look on my Instagram, and I'll probably post a link, or I'll even do it on Facebook. I'll post a link on the comments below this video. So after this live link is finished, live broadcast is done, I'll go put the link in the Facebook video, yeah, on the
Brilliant.
the Raceday TV.
You send it, and we'll share it. And let's get the whole of South Africa cheering on for Kelvin van der Linde at Kyalami.
Yeah, it's cool.
Go
You guys have to cheer for me, but there's two other ones. It's David Pero and Jordan Pepper also driving tonight.
Yes, and the good news is we're going to support you as well. Hold on, where's my hat? I've got to put my hat back on. The good news is that in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to Jordan Pepper as well. So it's we certainly, you guys, you South African drivers, to us sitting here, you are heroes. We love what you're doing. Keep doing it, and thank you very much for chatting and taking time out for the schedule. Go and get your energy drinks.
And when you get Jordan on the stream, just please tell him he needs to start practicing, because I haven't seen him online all day, and he's for sure going to get his ass handed to him if he doesn't start practicing soon. So just give him a message when you get him online.
Absolutely, we will do that. Kelvin van der Linde, superstar South African driver, Audi factory driver, about to tackle the Kyalami 1 hour. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of life in Kempton. You rock, bro. Go well. Good luck for the race.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, man, what a boy. How cool is this? Racing is alive. It is real. It is virtually real. Life has changed. And all we have to do is embrace life and live with what we've got. I'm going to watch this race. Join us in a couple of minutes, and we're going to try and talk to Jordan Pepper. I'm going to start that show with the VDL Brothers hat on and just check Pepper's reaction. Join us later. Thanks for watching. Now, raceday.tv. Cheers.